no woman should pastor a church. Hello guys, my name is Daniel Oduwe, and today we are going to be asking and answering the question, what does the Bible think about women pastors? Should women be allowed to pastor a church? Is it a sin? Is it biblical? Hey, welcome back guys. Thank you for sticking on to this channel. Before I go ahead, please, I want you to subscribe to this channel, click on the subscribe button and also click on the notification icon so that you get to receive notifications whenever I release new videos. Now, today's video, we are going to be answering the question, what does the Bible think about women pastors? Does the Bible think this is a sin? Should women be allowed to pastor a church? Now, the controversy stems from two particular scriptures in the Bible. The first one is in 1 Corinthians chapter 14 from verses 34. Let your women keep silence in the churches. It says, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also said the law. Now, the second one is 1 Timothy 2 verses 12. It says, but I suffer not a woman to teach, not to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. So there are some school of thought who think that no woman should teach, no woman should be allowed to pastor a church, that it is a sin, while the other school of thought think that every woman should be allowed to pastor a church, to teach in the church, and not just be silent like those other people think. Now, the interesting thing is, those who actually say that no woman should pastor a church are misleading because they are taking the scripture out of context. Contextually, Paul is not saying that no woman should teach, no woman should pastor a church. Paul is not a woman hater. He doesn't hate women. Paul is actually referring to the relationship between a husband and the wife. The husband and the wife. If you read in verse 15, it says, notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing. Who shall be saved in childbearing? Talking about the woman, the wife. Of course, someone who is not married, someone who doesn't have a husband, this would not be applicable to that because she won't be able to bear a child. All right. So it's talking about the one in a man and the husband in a relationship. So the woman should not usurp authority over the man. Should not. The word usurp actually talks about dominate. Okay, should not take dominion over the man and be the teacher in the house. The man should, of course, be the teacher in the house. The man should have that authority. So that's what he meant there. Now, in the other one in 1 Corinthians chapter 14, where it says, let the woman learn in silence, let the woman keep silence in the church, in the churches, he is not saying that no woman should talk in the church. No, it is the same contextual, misinterpretation. Okay, it's actually saying that every woman in the woman in the church who has an husband in the church should learn from her husband. Let her keep silence in the church. Let her not ask questions in the church, but let her go back to her husband and be taught by her husband. Let her husband teach her. It's 1 Corinthians 14 verses 35. It says, and if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for women to speak in the church. Now it says let them ask their husbands at home. What about those who don't have a husband? Who will they ask? Okay, so you see there is talking about the authority or the relationship between the man, that is the husband, and the woman, the wife. Not really every man and every woman. No, he wants them to keep orderliness in the church, and that's why you see him say in the last verse 40, he says let all things be done decently and in order. So his intention was so that there could be order in the church. Probably women were noted to be, the Corinthian women were noted to be talkatives, or maybe, those who would always talk in the church. Probably that's the reason why he's telling them not to talk. Not because all women should keep silence. Remember, he's talking about, the orderliness of spiritual gifts in the church. And some other scripture that some people always bring up is when it says in 1 Timothy chapter 3, where it says that the deacon must be the husband of one wife. So they say, oh, you see that, so a pastor or a leader in church must be a man, not a woman. That's actually also misleading too, because it's actually giving only the qualification for a deacon. Okay, he didn't give us the qualification of a deaconess, but that same sample is applicable for a deaconess. Okay, so he's not saying that women shouldn't pastor a church. He's not saying that they are living in sin when they pastor a church. No, he's simply saying that we should understand the relationship between the man and his wife. The woman should not usurp authority over the man. She should not think she can be the teacher over the man. And not really because the woman will not be able to take certain responsibilities. No. Of course, if you read in Romans 16, you see Paul praising and appreciating certain women who were doing good work in the church. Romans chapter 16, it says, I commend unto you Phoebe, our sister, which is a servant of the church which is at Cenchrea. Now, the word servant is actually the word deacon or deaconess. Okay, now we know that Phoebe is a sister, is a woman, is a lady, and deaconess is most applicable for her. Alright, that's the word servant. Now look at what it says in verse 2. It says that ye receive her in the Lord as becoming saint, that ye assist her in whatsoever business she had need of you. Now look at this. It says, for she had been a succorer of many, and of myself also. Okay, so it's telling them that they should assist her. He won't be asking others to assist her if she's not in some form of leadership or some form of authority over them. In verses 12, it talks about three women, Tryphena, Tryphosa, and Persis. It says these women labored much in the Lord. Okay, and of course we know that what that means. It wasn't just talking about them being cleaners and sweepers in church, because that's what some people think that women should do, just clean and sweep the church. No, it says these women labored much in the Lord. All right, there's several of them like that too, but we'll have to stop here. I trust you're able to get the gist. Okay, thank you so much for staying tuned to this channel. Thank you for watching the video. If you like what you just saw, if you like what you just heard, I'd like you to give us a like, and also don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification button. All right, also share this video to others as well who will be blessed. Thank you so much, and do have a wonderful day.